the podcast, Duthie's Rubber Boots Podcast. We want to thank you for listening. We're sure you never thought we'd last. Oh no. We're gonna talk nothing, very little sports with your host Jimmy, Young James. And now you know for sure that it's gonna be a blast. It's gonna be a blast, oh yes, 'cause this is the podcast.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound.
We start episode 18 with some tough news. Puffy has died.
Not tough news for me.
Like me.
Puffy.
Did you have to look up the words?
The gambling debts finally got to him.
Okay. Now.
And after losing the prop bet on the coin toss of the Super Bowl, losing his two children, scholarship funds, RESP, he was murdered. No, I think he's in Costa Rica, apparently.
I think he was murdered by that possum he kept in his garbage.
That was beautiful, Lester.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Puffy's apparently not dead. Stoff tells me he's just in Costa Rica for a couple of weeks. Puffy goes on everybody talks about me going on a lot of tropical vacations. Puffy goes on a lot of tropical
But you go to one place.
I know. I go to the beautiful Wymara Resort in Turks and Caicos. And you better be nice to us. Hey, everybody, that's Bump.
Hey,
Bump is aboard for the show tonight. He's
it's good to be here.
Bump. All right, sorry.
You should have a song for every line we do today. The last time we heard Bump, he was praising his own singing in the Do They Know It's Christmas?
Hang on a second. Hang on.
He's the only guy who did his line and then was so impressed with himself, he said, wow.
Let's say your prayer. Pray for the other one.
It was actually more, wow, that was bad. And the fact that Stoff kept it in, I praised him for that because that was beautiful.
I think it's funnier.
That was well mixed.
I think it's funnier if you thought that was
whole thing was well mixed.
Absolutely. Stoff does a great job.
I will point out one thing, though. In the previous dream you did, Bump was in there, and he also barked as one of your dogs. So Bump's been all over the podcast.
That's what it is.
And he's got my two dogs who are also wearing hockey helmets. No skates.
And so you actually asked him, you called him up and said, hey, we need a dog?
Ask. That's the crazy part.
I ad-libbed. I was in the production office of our figure skating coverage when Stoff sent me that.
Oh, is that the one where you were in my ear, so you were doing lines anyway?
Right.
You were in my ear saying, this is gold, stay with this.
Exactly.
I was talking to all the drunken hockey players. We should clarify, this is episode 18 of the Rubber Boots podcast. Mm-hmm. I did the Jay and Dan podcast, also produced by our man Stoff, the greatest pod producer in the business, earlier this week. And I've been getting a lot of notes on social media from people who didn't realize we had a podcast.
What?
I thought everybody listened to your pod. So, it's weird.
It's the whole Rubber Boots thing.
Didn't we launch ours first?
No, they've been doing theirs for
that's true. That's
years.
right. That's right.
I went on their podcast before I knew what a podcast was. Yeah. But so I want to welcome any Jay and Dan listeners. This is the Rubber Boots podcast. I can't explain the name. Go back to episode 1, season 1, to understand the name. How would you explain our podcast?
This
is Lester, by the way, works at TSN. He's our resident musician.
Absolutely. It's if you want to talk about the podcast in terms of Seinfeld, it's largely about nothing, really.
Highly about nothing. Bump is with us. Bump is one of my producers. He produces me on golf, and he's in many of my dreams.
It's true. Producer of dreams.
He knows he has a lot of pop culture knowledge. He comes up with movie lines. Puffy, who is not with us, I think this is the first podcast Puffy has missed. Puffy's our degenerate gambler.
That's not. No, I Wally pipped him.
Oh, did you?
Last season,
Christmas.
See, I have no recollection of that. You must not have been a great
performance
great by you.
Great impression.
And Christoph produces us, so we have some fun. We talk about songs, and as Lester said off the top, not much sports, occasional sports here and there. But we welcome you if you've never heard of us before.
Yes, absolutely.
We always like our newcomers. What else do I want to talk about? Oh, a lot of people getting in on the Fifth Room contest, even though we didn't announce it as a contest. The Wymara Resort, which is one of our beloved sponsors here in Turks and Caicos, we're taking the cast of the pod down to my villa at the Wymara. It's a luxury villa on the ocean, and we're just going to have 3 days of craziness.
I'm very excited.
And we have a fifth bedroom Now, a Bump would be one of the guys up for the fifth bedroom.
You would think he would be in the mix.
Roddy.
And
Roddy, for sure.
you guys do you do yoga?
There would be no yoga. Well, I don't know. That depends. We have to make a decision.
My wife is a yoga instructor.
Yeah,
She could do the
Well, no, we didn't say anything
rubber boots yoga.
we didn't say anything about your wife.
Do you have photos?
I do.
Nothing is also off base on this podcast. Yeah, she could do that. Would we do a little yoga? Did I ever tell
I
you
don't
about
know.
the yoga?
Would you do yoga?
Do you know I went on a vegan yoga retreat in the jungles of Costa Rica once?
Why? That's the big question.
My wife had a landmark birthday. Soft, have I ever talked about this on the pod?
No, I don't think so.
I listen to every
So-
I thought you were going to talk about your yoga instructor at the
Right, yeah.
gym.
Oh, the one who touched me in special places?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
right.
I have not run into her
Offside.
again yet. Yeah. So my wife had a landmark birthday a while back, and I said, honey, wherever you want to go. Thinking she might, say the Wymara, and I'd be, boom, on a beach. She said, I want to go to this place I saw on the internet, and it's a vegan yoga retreat in the middle of the jungle in Costa Rica.
Oh, my God.
And I said, huh? What? And so that's what we did for a week. And it was in the middle of the jungle in Costa Rica. I think I wrote about it in my book. Like, you had to take 18 different, four-wheelers to get, and we're living in a little hut. And we did yoga at 6 a.m. for 2 hours every morning, and then again at dinner time from 5 to 7. And the little huts we were living in, we're in the jungle. Like, there's howler monkeys jumping on top of the huts. And if you ever heard a howler monkey in the morning, it's like something from a serial killer movie. They're like, they scream every morning at 4 a.m. And the bugs are so giant. You hear the bugs at night, and it's like this.
Wow. Creepy crawlers.
Yeah, my wife slept on top of me that first night. No sexualness whatsoever, because she was worried the things were going to come up. Like, every bug in Costa Rica is 9 times the size of the North American
Well,
bug.
it is a rainforest, is it not?
Tropical
Rainforest.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
close to the equator.
Not surprising, really.
And I also
Good luck with that howler monkey sound stuff.
and the vegan food, though, that was good. That was
No, it wasn't.
actually-
Have you
no.
stayed? Have
Was
you
it
stayed?
really good?
It was
Really?
good. It was good.
Have you stayed vegan?
No. I think I cheated and went off down. I took off by myself one
If
day.
you see him at Augusta, he does not eat vegan.
I climbed off the mountain and snuck a steak back in.
Best
Kicked out of the
James
resort.
food story is when we were in Scotland for the British Open,
Yes.
for the Open Championship
Mm-hmm.
at St. Andrews, when you brought your almond butter, and you had to keep it in the kitchen
Yeah.
of the hotel we were staying at. Ronnie Dick.
That's right. I do like the almond butter. That's
he loves
more
the
of a
almond butter.
personal preference thing.
Yeah.
So one of the things on the yoga retreat, we did a trip deeper into the jungle. Actually, we crossed over into Nicaragua from Costa Rica, and they took us to see a remote tribe that they described it as this remote tribe that made cacao, like raw chocolate.
Right.
Cacao?
Cacao. Yeah, you're right.
Cacao. And so that was the way they described the trip. And we had to go, you went on a speedboat, then you got a canoe, and you portaged a canoe, and you walked through the jungle. And this remote tribe, and I get there, and this remote tribe, they all have iPhones. They're like, "What's up? Come on in."
Yeah, come on, we were tracking you the whole time.
I got the new 8. You still got a 5S? Anyway,
I think the pronunciation might be cacao.
cacao.
Like
Cacao.
Cacao.
Oh, as in cocoa?
Cacao. Play that again.
there you go.
Cacao.
Nice. Now do jicama.
Juan Wario.
One water.
Wymara. T-Day is the 10th.
Do you know when you
cacao.
call the Bell Help Desk
Yes.
in our company?
Yes.
One of the options
That
is for
always goes well,
telephones-
by the way, when
for
that happens.
telephone support, it's telephony. No joke.
Telephony.
For telephony support,
That's all right. I was on Vancouver radio today, and I guess I said we were talking about the Leafs. They were asking about the Leafs because I was at the Leafs game last night, and I said the Leafs fans were giddy. And they, you know how they do, the radio does the little blurbs they put out on Twitter. James Duthie joined us. He says Leafs fans are giddy, and they spelled it Gitty. Giddy.
Giddy.
Giddy. God love our company.
Giddy up.
I'm not much better. I went on Andy Petrillo's show today, the Leafs Lunch Show, and I went out with my buddies last night to the Leaf game, so I was a little tired, and I might have had a couple. And I was trying to say that I was drinking a mimosa, but I said samosa.
It's hard to drink.
It's very hard to drink samosa.
Well, if you put it in a blender,
Sure.
hey, stuff.
You can't.
You do it with a pierogi, no?
You can put that's basically what it is.
The pierogi milkshake.
You can put anything in a blender.
You remember that episode when I talked about my daughter made me a pierogi
Yes.
milkshake one time?
I did.
Let's get to the week that was, brought to you by Untuck It.
Let's discuss the week that was with James Duthie and the Rubber Boots Podcast crew.
If you are a first-time listener, one of the traditions on this podcast is for me to ignore Lester.
Yeah.
But since I haven't talked to Lester in a couple of weeks, how was your? I was at the Super Bowl last week. Lester, how was your week?
My week was great. It was great to fly in to do the pod with you at the Super Bowl.
Oh, that's right. I flew you guys in on my private jet.
Yes,
I'd forgotten
it was
about
great
that.
to fly in and do
Only
that
for an hour, and then boom,
And then right back. Right. Well, it's the
Sorry,
way it
Mom,
is.
you didn't make it.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's all right.
I couldn't come anyways.
But after I left you guys in Atlanta, I flew over to Montreal and caught my brother's birthday. I'll shout out to my brother Mark. It was his birthday on the 5th.
Good birthday, Mark.
And we traditionally go, the Habs play those matinee games on Super Bowl weekend. So we had Saturday versus Jersey and Sunday versus the Oilers. 3 or 4 points. Very successful weekend for the Habs. But we made sure that, as we always do when we go to Montreal, we spend time with our good friend John Lou.
J-Lou.
Oh, quality with J-Lou,
John
star
Lou.
of many of my dreams.
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. And that came up. We had a very
First
nice
liner.
brunch and some smoked meat at Dunn's, and then headed over to the rink. It was very nice, very nice.
How's
very
the
nice
Lou
to
man?
catch
Does he have any more? Do you have a new dog? I remember he had lost his dogs in a
got 2 dogs.
tragedy.
I think he's got 2 dogs now, but they're
Nobody
doing
loves
well.
his dog like Lou.
Oh, J-Lou loves his dogs.
He's a very passionate guy. But listen, John's a great guy. A shout out to John. It was great to see him. And,
Always great to Johnny Lou can come on our podcast anytime.
Hey, listen,
We've never had him on.
I know he's. I know he's open to it, but
Season 4, maybe.
He's very, very pleased to participate in our hijinks and various things. So.
I've said before, I believe it was at the World Juniors in Saskatoon, New Year's Eve party, live band. I fell down outside and hit my face. I took over the bar that night. It wasn't good. And John Lou took over on drums, and I was, besides the times I've seen you play, the most blown away I've been by a TSN employee playing an instrument. He was fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So that was nice. The Bruce's family from the Wymara was at that matinee Habs game. You could have hung out.
Oh, geez, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
Bruce didn't come up, but his wife and his lovely
How
children.
many free
were there.
nights are you getting for this pod?
You don't
It's
know.
been like 7 mentions of Wymara. We've been on for 5 minutes.
That's what we do here.
That's what we do.
That's what we do here.
Wymara.
By the way, podcast news, our friends at Untuck It have renewed.
Good.
They have
Nice.
renewed. They came
Fantastic.
on a trial basis for the Rubber Boots pod. They didn't know what it was about. They said, "Who are these clowns?" And then they fell in love with us.
Us, all of us.
All of us.
Plural.
And they said, we're signing on, I believe it's a lifelong deal.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Or 13 more episodes, something like that.
That's great. Fantastic.
Our
That's
friends
great
at
news.
Untuck It. Why don't you want to do, hey, Bump, you want to do the Untuck
can
It
do the
read?
read, yeah.
You've never
Yeah,
had a
Untuck
chance
It
to do it before. You don't have to do it all. Just pick a few things and do, I want you to sell this now because you're a producer behind the scenes. You're not very good at this stuff. You do the Bump and Run
do you-
podcast.
I do.
Put your best Mr. Noodle voice on and do it.
Hey guys, it's never a good look when you untuck a long, bulky dress shirt. A casual shirt that's not too long, not too short, Untuck It shirts are a go-to for any occasion, from casual to dressy. With more than 50 sizing options, every guy can find that perfect shirt. Use the promo code RubberBoots for 20% off your purchase. Visit Untuck It.
I
Wow.
thought you were very good.
You know what I have to say? I was
You got to
very,
put effort into it.
I was
a
very
little bit.
impressed. I was very impressed.
You have potential.
Used to have the
100%.
best
We don't
scratch
have our
tracks in
Untuck
the
It shirts
business.
yet, but all the shirts are untucked today.
That's
I
right.
untuck my
I
shirt
forgot a
all
belt.
the time.
I forgot a belt. It's
That
awkward when
sucks.
you have
You
no
gotta
belt.
do- you gotta
have
need
to.
a belt.
You have to.
But you
untuck
know,
or else
then
you get
they're
made
down
fun
a
of.
little back of my underwear comes out the top, like the wrappers kind of
Oh,
do
yeah,
these
that's-
days.
Wonder, is that
you know what the origin of that is, eh?
No.
Well, the
that's-
origin, that's a jail thing.
Is it?
And that when your pants are hanging down like that, it's
No, I know. I did
Means
some
you've been
time in
in
the
prison?
90s.
means you're open for business.
I
So,
invented that.
I can't stand it. I can't stand.
So
seeing
Crisscross was open for
Bugs me.
business then.
that. Well, I don't think they wore their pants
Jump,
that low.
jump,
but-
jump.
Everybody just jump.
What does
That
that mean
will
if
make
you
it-
wear it down and backwards?
Wow. Well,
Who's the Urban Dictionary consultant?
that's Mr. Puff, who is away in.
I think
He's the
one
Urban
of the
Dictionary
crisscrosses
consultant?
was at Super Bowl.
Well,
one's dead.
One's dead.
No,
so
the other
yes.
one, the one that was alive. I think Cross. Is
So-
Chris alive or is
the
Cross
dead
dead?
one was not.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Google it.
I don't.
Only there is a machine we can check this.
Super Bowl, I feel I was on the Jay and Dan podcast. I feel like I gave them all my good material. Do you have any questions about Super Bowl? It was a very
Was it as boring
disappointing
live
game.
as it was?
It was. I mean, look, it's always more exciting when you're at a live event. And the one thing I'll say about the game is because it stayed close, there was like anticipation that something was going to happen at some point. But it's the worst Super Bowl I've ever seen.
Really, though?
Without a doubt.
Well, let's put it this way. Internally, usually after the Super Bowl is done, we do a couple of Greg Sands, who we know is a producer. He always puts together NFL plays of the year and whatever different things. And usually after the Super Bowl, we get an email saying, "Hey, I have to revise the show." No call this year.
There definitely wasn't.
We've been spoiled by a decade of great Super
But
Bowls.
That's very true.
But still, like, see, I like football regardless of what it is, and it doesn't have to be 45-40 shootout for me. Like what both of those defenses did, especially the Patriots, like that was.
No, you don't
That
need
was
you don't need a
impressive,
shootout,
man.
but you need big plays. And there was just a general lacking in big. How about Corey Littleton? No, guest on the Super Bowl pod last week. I don't know if you listened.
Yes, I did.
I literally went into the Rams.
Weren't you on the pause?
No, I
You were
wasn't.
on it.
Well,
yeah.
I wasn't on that portion of the
Oh,
portion
okay.
of the pod.
He'd
I'd
already
flown
flown
out by
back.
then.
Flown back by then.
Yes.
Okay.
Corey Littleton was, sitting by himself for the media session. So I said, I'll go talk to Corey Littleton and ask him some questions. And we had a big chat about Netflix. And then, boom, first pass of the game, picked by Corey
off,
Littleton.
yeah.
And when it was 3-3, I'm thinking, if Corey Littleton gets, one more fluke pick, bad bounce,
Yeah.
and the Rams win, 6-3, MVP.
Absolutely.
Boom. Rubber Boots
100%.
Pod, fame and
100%.
fortune, probably takes us to Disney World with him.
Exactly.
He would have taken you.
And
for sure.
instead, nothing. He's just an afterthought from that.
I just Googled it. It's Chris. Chris is dead.
Chris is dead,
Cross.
so
Chris Kelly.
I think Cross was there.
I think
but
they're both named Chris.
But I called him
Are they?
Chris.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, that's why it's
That,
Chris
that
Cross.
throws a wrench into things. Because it just says Chris
so
Kelly.
I believe it's
So I assume-
Mac Daddy that died, and Daddy.
So the
Mac
Daddy
is still
Mac
alive.
is still alive.
Oh, you know what? It wasn't Chris Cross. It was Lil Bow Wow.
Wow.
all that research.
Lil Bow Wow's like 48.
Not
or
getting that
something like
5 minutes back.
I'm like, yo, Lil Bow
Little
Wow.
Bow Wow.
Are you sure it
that
wasn't
still
Dave
there?
Chappelle?
Little Bow
Wasn't
Wow,
Dave
is that-
Chappelle?
Oh,
Dave
can I
Chappelle.
tell you about the coolest thing I
What
did
about
at
Dave-
Super Bowl?
Okay.
Sure.
What if we said no there? What were you going to do? You're
be
still
done.
going to do it, right?
It is James Duthie's Rubber Boot Podcast.
I was waiting to interview Michael Irvin. Yeah, exactly.
The sign says James
Look at the
Duthie, so
sign,
he's good.
clowns.
You good?
I did. I was doing a little interview with Michael Irvin in the NFL Experience, and I had a few minutes to kill before he came over. And they had this VR set. Those like VR video games.
Yeah,
I'm not much of a video
Virtual
game
reality,
guy,
yeah.
but it's coming, right? Mm-hmm. So this one, there was a real football kind of on like a pylon, and you put on the VR thing, and you're a quarterback in the NFL. And it was the most amazing thing I've ever done in my life. Like, so imagine this: you're standing there, your entire O line. Look to the left receivers, look to the right receivers,
Wow.
look around you, running back, and the whole defense and an entire stadium.
right.
That's
And-
so cool.
It's like, and look, it wasn't like they didn't look human-like. You could tell it was a video game, but full life size.
Yeah.
And up in the top right corner of the screen, there's a pattern tree, so you can pick. You know what all your receivers are going to do on the play.
Wow.
When you take the ball off the little cone, that starts the play. So
Jeez.
Jimmy, all-time leading passer in Canadian
football.
high school quarterback history, 1-for-1 to Dr. Jimmy Ah, a Toronto doctor who was then Jimmy Ah, a 4-yard completion, 1-for-1 all-time, never be beaten. No one will ever touch that. Then took a 15-yard unnecessary roughness penalty on the next play and never got back in. Anyway, unsportsmanlike actually. Yeah, I did I got completed a 4-yard pass. It was like mop-up duty. We were ahead 20-0, and then my second play I ran it was a sweep designed for me, and it got nowhere. And then the guy I thought the guy hit me out of bounds. So I got up and I threw the ball at his helmet, and I got flagged for unsportsmanlike. We punted. I never got back in as a quarterback. So anyway, so this is Jimmy's dream to get back
Back
up
under
there.
center.
Back under center. So
The Keanu
I
Reeves
take
and
the
the
ball.
replacements.
I take the ball. I do like 3-step drop, and this linebacker blitzes, and all of a sudden there's like this massive guy coming at you, and I think I fell down. I went, ah! And so then the next play I got the pass away, but it was like way behind. By the third play, I completed it to my tight end. Boom, 8 yards across the middle. Little run after catch, little rack.
So you're now
first
2
down.
for 3.
1 for 3, technically. But
Well, you got
what
seven.
if that is the future? If that can come, if that's 2 years away from me being able to buy that, because the football must have a chip in it.
Yeah.
So you actually throw the football against like a screen.
Oh, did you actually throw it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a real football
okay.
that you throw. And it measures, whether you threw it the right angle and whether you threw it fast enough or whatever.
Unbelievable.
That's cool. My daughter just shot a commercial for VR, for this VR place in Kitchener. And she said it was cool. There were walls that you're climbing and everything.
Wow.
Is crazy.
Are you putting your children into acting? Is that what you're
No,
doing?
she was asked by a friend. I would, if they're gonna make
a
some
friend, or like some 50-year-old guy who met her on the playground.
money. That's true. Yeah.
Which daughter is it?
Eva, my oldest.
Hey,
12.
Eva,
Yeah.
I can put you in movies.
Did I mention I have a tire pressure gauge?
Yeah, why do you have that in your
I
pocket?
don't know. I have no idea.
See, that's
thought you had a pen?
nothing. That's nothing.
I thought it was a pen, probably.
Is that trying to show off to people that you
That
can
I know
fix
what
stuff?
this is?
Yeah.
I can fix a few things. I've gotten better over the years, but I'm terrible.
You see,
Terrible.
if you pulled that out of your pocket, I wouldn't have known what it was.
There it is. You put this on the little nub.
Would you have known what that was?
the little
Yeah,
nub
I
thing
would've
that comes out of the tire?
Is it for like a
seen-
bike tire though, or
No,
like
for
a car
a regular
tire?
tire.
You could put that on a car tire.
Yeah, and it should,
Absolutely.
here.
I'll show you how.
I have my people pump up my
This
tires.
is great. This is great for the viewing audience,
This is,
by the
yeah.
way.
And then see, that's the PSI.
Oh yeah, I know that.
That's your
The
PSI.
number comes out, but I never know what number do you pump it up to. I
Well,
just kind of
usually
feel
they're
it.
in the 30
I just try to feel it.
2 to 34.
Let's get the hell out of this segment. Do you want to know anything else about the Super Bowl? Can I tell you the one story I told on Jay and Dan, but I'll repeat here
No.
because it disturbed me?
No, you cannot. You keep asking us.
There were these Bible thumpers all over the place around Super Bowl, with their blowhorns, but there was one group of guys who
Was
were
that
out,
where Milt was? Because Milt was there with his family, Milt
What's that
Stiegel.
the game? Yeah.
Touched the greatest receiver in CFL history.
So there are these guys with white jumpsuits on, and their crotches are all covered in, I assume, fake blood, paint, ketchup, I don't know what.
Oh my God.
What?
And they're protesting. I'm like, what is this about? And I go by them, and they're like, circumcision is wrong. A child should not be hurt that way. Should not be touching our babies' penises. And I'm like, what?
Amazing.
I respect, as I said on Jay and Dan's pod, all people's beliefs and their right to. But of all the causes you could have in the world,
That's got to be some kind of a joke.
no, not
I
a
don't
joke.
think
And they
There is-
recruited.
there
There
are
was about
people.
9 of them.
There are people.
Really?
So, do you remember your circumcision?
I don't remember it, no.
Do you have any long-lasting scars
No.
from it?
I do remember mine. I was 32. No, I'm just kidding.
Wild weekend.
If you look closely at the Rubber Boots Pod New Jack Masters or whatever
Masters.
photo, Stoff was in the tight shorts. He's not been circumcised. I can tell that from the photo. No, but
The title for this podcast is Offside, okay?
no, but I was just like, look, I as I said to Jay, I mean, I had my little boy circumcised. He cried for 10 seconds. It was over.
Yeah.
It's over. It's nothing. The kids. And Jay said they put a little freezer needle now into his little guy, so it's find a better cause. That's all I'm saying.
Yep.
Well, listen,
There are lots
100%.
of things that are more important.
This is exciting. Bump is going to take part in his 2 Truths, 1 Lie from
Gotta
Puckpedia.
get that ready.
Let me tell you about Puckpedia. Stats, contracts, and caps. It's all there for you. One-stop shop for your hockey information. It's a new sensation. So log on, log on, log on. If you get the puck, go to Puckpedia.com.
What are we? We're 2.5 weeks away from the deadline. Never been a more important time to go check out Puckpedia.com if you have not already.
Which deadline's that?
The trade deadline. Look at
That's today, isn't it?
Skater
NBA
Boy.
trade
The
show.
NBA trade deadline is today as we are taping this.
Thursday.
Huh?
On Thursday.
Oh, Thursday, yes. But we're probably not out. People aren't listening till Sunday, Monday, or something
Exactly.
like that.
That's why I said Thursday.
Can I read my copy,
Go
or
for
do you want to
Oh,
read
is this copy
too?
read?
You want to do this one
No,
too?
you're good. You're good.
Puckpedia is the ultimate source for hockey fans and professionals. Everything you want on one site. Contract info, salary cap info for all the teams, basic advanced stats, latest transactions, player dashboard, and more. Puckpedia is the exclusive home of the agent leaderboard, showing all the agents ranked by contract numbers. Judd Moldaver, good buddy of mine, really great guy, Austin Matthews' agent. He gets the big deal, so a lot of people probably checking on him. Darren Ferris is Marner's agent, so a lot of people checking out Darren Ferris's page. You can check it all out at puckpedia.com and follow them on Twitter at puckpedia, especially before the deadline. All right, Bump, you know the deal. 2 truths, 1 lie, any order you want to go in. Tell us about your life. This is the way, listeners, that we learn about all the cast members of the pod. They tell us things about their life, but they embellish some, and we try to figure it out.
So 2 truths, 1 lie. So
thank you. That's what we are declared.
I initially was going to do 3 truths and just make it a big joke. I was talking with Weeksy about it, and we kind of agreed that was being a good way, but I decided against it. So here we go. So the first one is the day after I got married.
Yeah.
We're having a party afterwards with myself, my wife, her family, my family, and all the bridesmaids and groomsmen. And I nearly died when I tripped over a volleyball net over a pool and broke a plastic chair with my neck. Straight down.
Broke a plastic chair with
my neck. Okay? Second one is, this is a while back in my early 20s when we went to a Bills-Dolphins game, some buddies of mine, and I got so loaded that I was pestering some people in our section, and an old lady got an old lady got us kicked out.
Okay. All your buddies?
Just after the first quarter. And we had to watch the rest of the game from not inside the stadium.
Very believable.
And the last one's back in high school. Me and an old girlfriend of mine would have sex on this hill in Kitchener. And my buddies found out about it, and they decided to name it Mount Frump, which was my nickname in high school.
Okay. Are you going to name the young lady? No.
No.
Yeah, let's respect her. All right. Let's ask some questions first. I decided to do more investigation. When you almost broke your neck, were you drunk then at the wedding?
I was somewhat drunk.
Okay.
This was the day after the wedding.
Oh, day after the wedding. Interesting. Like an after party.
It was the next day.
Did you fall into the pool?
I did not.
Bills Dolphins. Who was the Bills quarterback at the time?
Would have been
Jim Kelly?
No, it wasn't that far back. It would have been, I believe it could have been Flutie,
Peterman.
Actually, it could have been.
Was it the Flutie Johnson era?
It could be it was the Flutie Johnson era.
All right, and finally, why did they call you? What was it? Flutie? What was your nickname?
Oh, Frump.
So Frumpy.
This goes back to volleyball. When I played volleyball for my high school, Forest Heights Collegiate in Kitchener. Very good volleyball high school, by the way. We won a lot.
Were you a good player?
I was okay.
Were you the bumper?
I bumped. If they had a libero.
Yes, that's a technology that we use to.
No, not the libero. It's actually.
That's the player.
Sorry, the libero.
The player.
I would have.
That's the back court.
Yeah, the
person,
back guy.
right?
I was really good at that, so I could.
You think you had a future?
I could have. I probably could have went to university to play volleyball if they had one of those. But, anyways,
Frump.
So basically,
Mount Frump.
The shirt that I had, the shirt that they gave me was like a size too big for me. So I never had it tucked in. I always had it untucked. Untucked.
Oh, beautiful
shirt.
So our manager, who was a senior girls volleyball player, said, "You always look frumpy," because of the shirt. I was always unkept, I guess. So then it just went from frumpy to frump. They started calling me Donald Frump at times. So that's the nickname.
So Mount Frump, which was the name of the hill, and also what the girl did on the hill.
Right. Correct.
Lester, you always like to go first here. What's your choice?
Do you actually like to go first here always?
Why do you question everything I say on the pod? Puffy never questions anything. He just goes along with it.
You want a yes man. He's in Costa Rica. We think.
I do go first traditionally. These are all very, very feasible. I'm going to say number 3 is not true because with all due respect, I've known you for a long time. I don't see you having sex outside. I'm sorry.
Mr. Noodle!
Mr. Noodle's going to be all over. That sound effect's going to be all over the place.
I knew Bump that well.
It'd be funny if Christoph came on and says, I can't confirm he does have sex outside.
I don't know. I think the sex thing is kind of a humble brag here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say that one's true. Breaking the chair with the neck.
It's very detailed, right?
Yeah.
It's very
A little
detailed.
too detailed.
Isn't that what you're supposed to? Isn't that what you're supposed to do?
Okay, a little
Yeah.
too detailed. So,
I think the chair broke, but the chair might tell a different story.
all right. I think the chair thing, the fact that he said he broke almost the neck hit the chair, too many details, wouldn't have come up with that as a lie. So I'm going to go true. I believe Bump is a very handsome man. I believe that could have happened. I think he's a bit of a renegade. I've seen him at the Masters. I think that he could have made love outside in high school.
He's done that at the Masters?
Made love.
Amen. Amen, corner.
Amen, corner.
So I'm going to go actually with the Bills Dolphins because I think that Bump, even though he likes to indulge in the alcohol at times, that he would never do anything to get him kicked out. And why would an old lady be at the Bills game in a section with a bunch of rowdies? So I don't believe that Bump would get his friends kicked out. Final answer, Bump.
Wow, that's good.
What is not true is the Bills Dolphins. I did get really drunk at a Bills Dolphins game and was throwing popcorn at the. I can't believe I actually didn't get kicked out.
The great news.
I never did get kicked out of a football game.
The great news out of this is not only can we call you Mr. Noodle now, but Mount Frump.
Mount Frump,
is
yes,
what we
indeed.
could call you.
Well done.
Why don't we do a Mount Frump song?
We should do a
Could you
Mount
do
Frump
that?
song.
That'd be great. My wife would love that.
Yes.
In high school, he used to hump. They nicknamed him Mount Frump. He didn't get kicked out of the Bills game, but he almost smashed his neck on a plastic chair.
Yeah, that was scary, man. That one actually. Thank God I was drunk actually,
Yeah.
because
Fair enough. Hey, listen, I just want to say to you, I'm looking you right in the eye. I apologize for doubting you on the outdoor stuff.
it's okay.
I feel bad now.
Yeah, I don't have sex
I feel
outdoors anymore.
shame. I feel shame.
That was back.
But maybe,
that was a 20s.
maybe
thing.
if you bring your lovely wife to the Wymara,
yeah, we will.
we'll leave you alone for some of that time.
Perfect.
Yes. Well,
if you need a
what do
yoga
you
teacher,
need, 5-6 minutes?
Yeah, not even half that.
Thank you, Bump, for our Kara Wagland, by the way. Kara Wagland is up next week on Two Truths, One Lie, and she's got some doozies as well.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, she's from the Kitchener-Waterloo area as well.
But you're from, what's your town called again? Hold
Baden.
on. Baden.
Baden.
I always
Ontario.
forget that.
Technically, it's just outside of Kitchener.
All right.
Baden. All right.
Things that I
What,
saw
have
on
you played
Twitter.
there?
Time.
Freaky pigs, strange chicks, world affairs, polar bears, fake news, nice shoes, big boobs, jack dudes, all of these things and more as I sat on the shitter. Things that I saw on Twitter.
First of all, a shout out to one of our listeners. I believe his name is Evan Powell. He alerted me to this a couple of weeks ago, but you know how bad I am at checking the social media. And our new intern, Zach Phillips, has been busy with school and hasn't helped us out at all. He sent me a text this week saying he's got some open windows, but I'm considering firing Zach.
Really?
No, we love Zach. I'm just kidding. But Evan Powell sent me another tweet from a person called Holly Cap or something, referring to BDE. You know about the BDE that we've talked about on the show?
Yeah.
Yes.
It says, my mom was trying to say BDE, Big Dick Energy, but couldn't remember. And so she said, is that Fat Dick Spirit? Fat Dick Spirit. So that was a cute little tweet on Twitter. BDE, that would be the FDS.
Yes.
The Fat Dick Spirit. Something that
Yeah.
somebody I know had back in the days on Mount Frump.
That's right.
They had the FDS going.
FDS, baby.
The other one, I tweeted this yesterday. Did you see the story? Man suffocates mountain lion who
I
attacked
did
him in
see that.
Colorado.
I did see that.
Yes.
I'll read this to you, listeners who
do
did
you
not
do that?
did not hear it. Well, let's find out.
No.
Wildlife officials say a man who fought off a young mountain lion on a northern Colorado trail killed the animal by suffocating it. The man was running alone near Fort Collins when the lion attacked him from behind after the movement apparently triggered its hunting instincts. The runner fought off the cougar, hiked out of the area after Monday's attack, drove himself to a hospital. The Parks and Wildlife people confirmed the man's account that they found the animal suffocated. 16 people have been injured and 3 killed by mountain lions in Colorado since 1990. Wow. This guy... Okay, so round the horn here quickly. You're jogging through the beautiful mountains of Colorado, getting in shape for the Wymara trip, and you get attacked by a freaking mountain lion. What's your go-to move?
run. Like just
No,
get
but
the hell
you've been
out of it.
attacked.
No, so it jumps on you. So
Yeah, so
you're
you
trying
gotta
to
try
run.
and get off
You're probably
it.
kicking.
Yeah,
Kicking.
definitely.
Yeah.
Try to climb a tree, maybe. The mountain lions climb the trees. Stuff usually the smartest guy in the
Yes, I would say.
believe
I would say
they
yes.
should,
Yes.
yeah.
I would say. Yes.
I think you're. Once
You make yourself look big. That's what they tell you to do against bears.
That's against bears. You should, man. If this was a video
There's video.
pod, there's video.
There's video.
Hey!
Yeah.
So,
Cameras?
but would you think of suffocating them?
No,
I mean, that's
you just you plug it, you hold their mouth together. And
I
pump
would-
it.
Would you
I-
go back to the old Kitchener Hill days?
pull it out and slap it with it.
What a shock! This is going off the rails. Eh? You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome, Canada.
Listen, I would love to talk to this guy because, I mean, was it his instinct? I mean, I would think that if you're jogging through that area, you got to be aware. And maybe he was actually, in fact, prepared just in case of such an emergency.
Well, you bring some bear spray or something
Yeah.
like that. You hold them.
For a cougar?
Well, that will probably work, right? I'm assuming that's not just for bears. All
Speaking of
animals
cougars-
don't like it.
Speaking
Yes.
of cougars
What?
on Mount Frump.
You should. You should on an anniversary. You should take your wife back to Mount Frump.
Yes.
So I don't. Did he suffocate it? Like, did he hold its jaw shut?
Well, how
and
do you do-
put its
there's
fingers
no-
up its two? Yeah,
That's what I said.
don't
That's
know.
what-
Or do you did he lay his body on top
Maybe
of
he
it?
did like a Jason
Headlock?
Bourne chokehold.
Maybe pushed his head.
Got in
Anyway,
behind him.
Pushed his
That
head.
guy's
into-
unbelievable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty remarkable. Like
I would probably break its neck with one hand. That's what I would do.
just like that, eh?
but not everybody's like you.
No.
You know, not everybody can do.
Do you think you'd
special
survive?
things like
you think
that.
you'd survive a mountain lion attack? You're a pretty strong guy. I've seen you
I
wrestle.
think you could, but you'd have to get rid of it somehow.
Yeah.
Because once
Well,
it
yeah.
starts, they probably don't stop.
No, if you kicked it in the, if
I have
you
no real field experience in this area, but
if you kicked it or something, it might run away.
it might
right?
run away.
If you injured
might.
it or
It's like if you
something.
punch a shark in the face, it's supposed to. It's what you hear.
I know.
Punch it in the nose.
Do you think you'd
It goes
remember
away.
that?
Who, you Aquaman?
If you got attacked by a shark,
I look exactly like Jason Mimosa. Exactly.
Jason Samosa.
Samosa. Yeah, sorry, Samosa.
See how
Oh
we brought
my
it all
God,
together like that. Stoff, what would you do with the mountain lion?
I don't know. That's a tough one. This is why I believe in the buddy system. You always run with someone that's slower and more out of shape than you.
That's right. And
right.
this is why I believe in not exercising.
Wow.
Because then I don't run into these situations
Mm-hmm.
where a mountain lion is now attacking me.
I'll tell you what, if it was me, that mountain lion would be a coat now.
He's actually wearing mountain lion
I know, that's the
currently.
crazy thing right now. He's wearing
The mountain lion scarf.
Genuine mountain lion, sealskin, whatever.
the cast of the Rubber Boots pod does not approve of killing animals for coats. But if you have to suffocate one,
Right.
damn straight.
survival,
Should
we do.
we could have tried to get the mountain lion guy on, but he's probably doing like the Today Show and
Hang on.
stuff. Probably,
Hang on, I got his number right here.
probably on for Matt. Not Matt Lauer. He's not there anymore.
He is not. He's no longer with.
That was a bad reference. Things that I saw on Twitter is brought to you by iDrinkCoffee.com.
Middle of the morning, can't keep my eyes open, cause I got to have a cup of jabber. I got to have a cup of jabber. So I better log on to I Drink Coffee, iDrinkCoffee.com. Woo-hoo. iDrinkCoffee.com.
Do you want to say it? Like, people don't care. They know that when they listen to the pod that
Okay.
we've been taping it live. So as we're taping the pod, the Raptors are doing what?
They just are planning to send JV,
Okay.
Jonas Valanciunas,
Yes.
DeLon Wright, CJ Miles, and a 2024 second-round pick to the Grizzlies from Marc Gasol.
Wow.
So Kyle stays
good
put
deal.
because Lowry was supposed to be in on that deal, right?
I don't think that was ever a thing, was
That's a
it?
pretty good deal.
That's a good
It's a
deal.
move.
It's too bad they couldn't get Mike Conley in that deal, too.
DeLon Wright.
Wow.
DeLon's kind of the third guy, so he was kind of expendable.
Yeah.
Because Fred VanVleet's been so good.
Anyway, people have talked about this trade probably for 4 days before you
That's
heard
right.
this. So we won't spend a lot of time
Remember-
on it. But thanks
remember
for the breaking news.
hot take.
Puffy never brings breaking news to the
No.
podcast.
Unless it's
doesn't.
about a bet or
What does
something.
Puffy bring to the... Like, just hypotheticals?
Not
That's
a lot,
it?
just a lot of gambling. Should we do a...
And a lot of agreements.
Puffy again. Hey, everybody.
Hey, I'm in Costa Rica with me. Should we do an edition of Puffy's hypotheticals just in his memory
Why
today?
not?
All right, let's play Puffy's.
Puffy's hypotheticals, who really gives a crap? All the ladies want to hear is the Rod Smith recap. Blah, 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 blah. Roddy is the best, the best.
Every time I'm in, that one's played. It's awesome.
I love it.
No Roddy recap this week. Both Stoff and I were... Stoff's been working his ass off. I give him these pods at the last second. He gives up his weekend to put it together for me. I got back from Super Bowl, and I just, apologies to Roddy and all the Roddy recap listeners. Puffy's Hypotheticals. I thought we'd do an actual Super Bowl one, feeding off my Super Bowl week.
All right.
So here's what we're going to do. You are the backup to Tom Brady. So in this year's case, Ryan Hoyer. Ryan Hoyer. So
by the way, I had no idea who the backup was.
Exactly. I should have started with that. Jimmy Garoppolo, of course, for a couple of years before that.
He was great with San Fran this year.
Oh, stop it. All right. That's my team. You know that.
I know.
So you're the backup to Tom Brady for 5 years. You win 3 Super Bowl rings. Okay? Mm-hmm. You get mop-up duty during the season, fourth quarter when you're way up or way behind. So you get in, 30 passes during the year, a couple of games. That's basically it for 5 years. A couple of times Brady gets hurt. You get a couple of starts in there, but that's about it. For 5 years, you get 3 Super Bowl rings. You can be that guy, or you're on another team. You're a starter for 5 years.
Like the Houston Texans?
Houston Texans. You're a successful starter.
Because Brian Hoyer started for the Houston Texans.
Okay, there you go. So now you're Brian Hoyer on the Houston Texans, but you start for 5 years. You're an effective quarterback, but your team's not very good. You put up good numbers. You're a success. You make the same money as the backup to Tom Brady, exactly the same money, but you never win anything. You make it to the playoffs. I'm going to throw this in to make it. You make the playoffs once, but you lose in the first game. So you're a successful starter, bad team, 5 years, same money, backup, just mop-up duty, 3 Super Bowl rings. What do you take? Bump.
I'm taking the rings, especially if you're making the same money. Everybody wants to win Super Bowl rings. Dan Marino did not. Brian Hoyer did.
But do you feel like it's your ring?
Yeah, you're part of the team.
Do you feel you're part of the team, but, do you really feel, do you wear those rings proudly, or are you just kind of, yeah?
I think they do wear them proudly.
Lester doesn't even know who you are. Lester, what are you doing?
I know who he is.
What are you doing?
He's Mount Frump. You know what? I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna agree with Bump. I think you take the rings. And listen, at this point in time, Brady's so close to retiring now.
No, that's out of the equation. Your career's over after the 5 years. That's my condition.
So you can't Tanya Harding him?
Huh?
You can't Tanya Harding the starter?
No, DB12's not going down.
Can you Jeff Galooly him?
This is your 5 years in the National Football League. Period. Ends.
Well, then, take the rings.
Take the rings, man.
Take the rings. Why would I leave the NFL in 5 years of mediocrity or less than that?
No, but you've been good. You're a good quarterback. Well, you walk away and they say, that Hoyer was a good quarterback. It's too bad he got on that sucky team. Stoff?
So you're making the same money whether you're the backup
same
or the
money.
starter?
It's a hypothetical stuff. It's not like the actual salary cap.
I wanted the money. I need a new car. I guess I'm going to go with the rings. I mean, you can show them off after. People will probably take you more seriously as an analyst in your post-playing career.
It's true.
I'll go with the rings.
I'm gonna take the other thing. I don't want to win a ring as just the guy, the nobody that nobody remembers. I want to be known as that Jimmy. He could play. Jimmy, he could play. You should have seen him at Gloucester High School.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Think about this, and think about the rest of the Patriots. I mean, there's guys that are on that O-line that...
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. They played.
They played. I understand that, but if they were on a nothing team, they don't have a ring to flash when they go to,
Okay, let me change it.
Applebee's.
Let's say you never played a snap. You never played a snap in those 5 years. You still taking the rings?
Okay, well, that's different. No, I probably won't take the rings.
There's a real good chance that you could not take a snap.
So I'm saying you haven't taken a snap. I've now said it.
I'll take the rings.
You're such a glory hog.
The championships, man. That's what you play sports for, to win championships.
Yeah.
You don't play to be a great player on a bad team.
And it's also important you play to win the game.
How many people at the draft, you get drafted into any league, say, you know what, I hope I'm a great player on a crappy team for the rest of my career.
You've played in the NFL for 5 years. You've taken the wounds. You have teammates that look across the room at you and say, that guy was a warrior, not just some guy whose uniform never got dirty.
What if your uniform did get dirty because you slipped on a rainy day?
Or you
almost broke your neck.
Or you're standing
on a
with
plastic
a clipboard
chair
on the sideline and somebody ran into you.
Or you sold your uniform doing the nasty on Mount Frump.
I did lose one of my favorite hats when I played baseball, Kitchener Panthers, when we won a championship. And it was my favorite hat. It fit so perfect. You know, you get one of those hats that fits so perfect.
Yeah.
And we were hammered in Toronto because we beat the Toronto Maple Leafs. And I gave it to somebody at a bar.
Isn't that a sad thing?
It is sad.
When I was little, and this might have actually been a preempt to much of my life with Maggie the monkey and Clem, my monkey puppet. When I was 5 or 6, I had a little toy monkey, and we were at a campsite in BC. I used to live out in BC, and my dad took the monkey. He was putting me in the car seat or something, and he put the monkey on top of the station wagon, and they drove off with the monkey on top of the station wagon, and it didn't make it. Kind of like in Vacation, where they left the ant.
That's right.
Chevy Chase in Vacation. Yeah. They left the Oh no, they left the dog behind the car.
Oh, that's right. It was a dog.
He tried to keep up for a little while.
Yeah. But not.
Which vacation was that?
That was the first vacation. The original
little guy.
Grandma did die in the back seat. Didn't they put her on the roof rack?
Yeah, they did. They put her on the roof rack. That was Puffy's Hypotheticals. How are we doing? It's time. How are we doing, stuff? Should we do what you're watching before we leave, or what?
Yeah, we got time.
We got time? All right. Puffy's Hypotheticals was brought to you by the... Oh, no. I'll make What You Watching. Let's do What You Watching. Let's hear that theme. We haven't heard it enough.
What you watching? Just between you and me. What you streaming on your TV? Let me see. What you watching? Action, drama, comedy. What you streaming on your TV?
I just did a really bad What You Watching dance.
Yeah, it was.
Is this on video? Like,
You
imagine if
should
they
do
put that part out.
I think your next song, Lester, should be a D-Light inspired.
Well, you know what?
Groove
sure,
is in the
I
heart.
can do that.
Groove is in the
I
heart.
just saw. Well, speaking of what you're watching, there's a series. Oh my God, what's it called? It's something about stories from the road, stories from the tour bus, and I can't remember. It's all basically almost all animated.
Okay.
But they go through James Brown, they go through Bootsy Collins, who played on D-Light's Groove is in the Heart.
Nice.
Rick, there's a two-parter.
Where can we find this? On Hulu?
It's on actually. I believe it's on Crave. I believe it's on
Crave TV?
Owned by our
Bell Media.
parent station.
We have something like we have a streaming service.
Yes, it is.
Oh, great!
We should get Crave to sponsor us. Brought to you by Crave TV.
right.
Should we talk? Should I phone Cope?
Yeah.
Give him a shout. You got him on. You got him on speed dial there. Sure.
What you watching this week? It's a simple segment. We go, what you watching? I was at the Super Bowl. I did a lot of Netflix at the Super Bowl because I was at the airport Marriott.
Chill.
No, there was no chill. There was just Netflix.
Oh, that's Netflix and chill. Why him? You should have watched that movie.
I watched. What's
hilarious?
What's that one?
With James Franco and Bryan Cranston. It's very funny.
What's that?
Where Bryan Cranston's the father of his daughter is dating James Franco, who's like this tech mogul and a weirdo. It is very funny. Stop. Have you seen that?
I know.
It's like a Christmas movie.
It sounds a little familiar,
Yeah,
though.
It's hilarious.
It's also on,
I recommend.
On Crave. On the
Also brought to you by Crave TV.
I watched the Ted Bundy tapes. Do you watch that documentary?
That.
I used to be obsessed with Ted Bundy in the. I don't know.
Back in your
dark
serial
side.
killer days.
Back in my serial killer days.
So why you did
After
time
you
in the
lost
90s?
Huh?
After your parents
That
lost
monkey
the
just
monkey
threw
that
him.
turned you.
That's right. That was the moment. Everybody has a moment. I don't know what Ted's was when he was a kid. So I watched that.
Ironically, he also lost a toy monkey. Wasn't that in the doc?
You know what the crazy thing about Ted Bundy? I'll leave it at this. Ted Bundy was
That's such a loaded question. The crazy thing about Ted Bundy, serial killer, is
He was a murderer.
he got away. He'd killed, I don't know, 30 people. And
was honestly that many?
well, they didn't know that at the time, but they pretty much knew he'd killed a few. And they had him they busted him for kidnapping this girl, this one that got away. And they had him in jail in Aspen, I believe it was Aspen, Colorado. And he jumped out before his court appearance, they let him go in the library unsupervised, and he jumped out a second-story window and escaped into the mountains. And then he got hungry, and they caught him 3 days later and put him in another jail. And he escaped from that jail through the ceiling in the cell, and then he ended up killing like 4 more women in Florida.
What?
So those jailsters, and not touched enough upon in the
Somebody's
documentary.
not doing their job.
Yeah, somebody was not doing their
Absolutely
job.
not.
Anyway, Ted Bundy, pretty good
you
doc
come
if you're
riding
into
in
that
on a
stuff.
scooter.
Now this is an older Netflix thing, but
Yeah.
I love Narcos. I don't know if you ever watched.
Yeah,
it.
Narcos.
I've heard
is
good
great.
things about
Fantastic.
Yeah, way to do the things that 3 years ago.
Well,
Doc.
Wasn't that in the song?
You know what's good? Friends.
That's
why. Isn't that why my Netflix account went up $1?
You know what? Can I say something about Friends? My theory about Friends is this: it was 2 years too long, and they had a chance to make it really interesting. That baby that Rachel had should have been Joey's.
Rachel had a baby?
You actually thought about this?
Exactly.
You didn't know Rachel had a baby?
Yeah.
Whose was it?
It was Ross's
Ross's.
kid. It was Ross's baby.
Really? I did not know that. I know Phoebe had like her brother's baby or something like that. Not in that
triplets,
twisted way,
triplets,
right?
Yes.
It's Friends. I think I've said this before on the pod. Like my daughters, they all watch Friends. That's the teenage generation. They watch Friends ad nauseum. It's crazy.
My kids are watching Full House like crazy.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah,
With Dave
12,
Chappelle.
10, and 8 with Dave Chappelle, and then the Fuller House, and it's on all the time. And oh god,
Oh, really?
I
you
hated
said
the show back then. It hasn't gotten any better.
You were going to recommend a show to me today.
My wife and I started watching You yesterday.
Like you as in the
You,
letter U?
Y-O-U.
Oh, I-O-U.
Y-O-U.
Oh, you.
is how you spell you. Why?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. It's about it's a strange one. It was recommended to her by some people at school who said it's basically this guy's a stalker.
Right.
And he meets this girl in a book. He works in a bookshop, and he meets her, and then starts researching her life essentially. Mm-hmm. And it's a really strange one. But he ends up starting to date her, and does
she know he's been stalking?
He doesn't. Like he's.
Is this a spoiler?
I don't want to ruin it.
No, I know spoilers. They're called spoilers.
It's hard to. It's hard to, people feel bad for him because he's a nice guy. He really is a nice guy. Like he's got this neighbor. His neighbor's kid is like this 12-year-old kid who he gives books to, and the mother and
so that makes it okay
the
for him
mother
to be
and
a
the boyfriend.
stalker.
No, but you got to hear the whole story. The mother and the boyfriend are always fighting or having sex, and the kid's always out on the step out at their apartment building, and he's very nice to the kid. So he is a nice guy, but he's a stalker. So like
Great.
So it's a strange
Ted
one.
Bundy
but
was a nice guy too,
I
but a
know.
serial killer.
But a serial killer.
Spoiler alert: he got
Spoiler alert,
executed.
Yes, I know. No kidding.
But it's not bad. I recommend it.
Can I say
We've
one
seen
more?
5 out of 10 episodes, and it's pretty good.
all right.
One more
Shut it
thing.
off.
I have to clarify something. I've been talking about this Kelsey Grammer thing.
Right.
It's really good, but unfortunately I didn't realize it only lasted 2 seasons. But
But worthy of
Is
the
it?
but worthy of it.
And it's just playing now, right?
It's just playing now. But Kathleen Robertson, formerly of
90210. Yes, from Hamilton, I believe. Maybe.
Hamlet.
She's a Canadian girl.
She's Canadian. So good.
Yes.
So good.
Yes.
Watch it just for her.
Did we talk about the Fire documentary on the last episode?
You mentioned it. Yes, I haven't seen it yet, but I'm
Wow,
going
that
to.
is something else. I was so disappointed
doc
that
guy.
Rams linebacker Corey Littleton wouldn't watch The Push after I recommended it to him.
What's the push?
I thought it was going to be a real segment. You
What's that?
listen to the pod. You know about The
You know
Push.
about Push.
Did you miss that episode? Seriously?
I have not missed an episode.
Well, we talked about The Push for like 20 minutes on an episode.
That's true.
One more thing. Sorry, I apologize, but this is actually
it.
this
This
is
is it.
What's
Lester.
Lester watching?
I
Also,
gotta-
Cheers. It's a show. They're all in a bar. They keep coming back into the bar.
I'm gonna do a little plug for Bell Media. In fact, we have just launched a series called Engraved on a Nation. It's our second
yes.
series, second time doing the series. Last night on TSN, that would have been Wednesday, we premiered the Bailey Experience about Donovan Bailey. The next one coming up is Man versus Machine. Hopefully, you'll hear this before we aired on Monday night at 7:30. But that is about Jacques Villeneuve and Larry Walker in '97. So there's that.
nice.
There's,
Awesome.
there's a couple of more series. I'll get into more details as we do this. What you're watching, but it's very good, folks. If you get a chance, check it out.
The
Right.
promos for the Bailey Experience seem awesome.
Really good.
He's a
DVR'd
chicken.
it.
He's a chicken.
Oh, he was here yesterday, Donovan. They came in and
I thought you were going to say Michael Johnson was.
Well, he actually, we invited him, but he got halfway to the agent court and he had to pull out. Not that.
He was in,
I
he
didn't
was
even
in,
step over that one.
He was in
I let it go.
He
I
was
let
in
it breathe.
Stopp's car.
Hey, Stoff, you watching anything, or are you too busy doing all these damn podcasts?
Pretty busy. Have you guys heard of a show called Corporate?
Yes, I've heard of it.
No.
It's
So
a comedy,
it's
right?
on Crave TV. Yeah, it's one of those 22-minute sitcoms.
Okay.
They got one season. They just started the second season now. Very funny, very enjoyable. So if you got some time, you want to laugh, check
I got
it
to
out.
dive into some all sorts of stuff because February, now I'm home. I'm done with World Juniors and Super Bowl. I got some prime TV time ahead in the basement, so I'll check
you
out
gonna
all
watch?
these things you mentioned. I'm going to start with you
It's
Nice.
on the
you know what?
recommendation.
I
Then I'm
haven't
gonna go to
stopped
Corporate,
watching it.
and then I'm going to go to Cheers.
What was the show? There's forget it.
Yeah,
Forget it.
Good topic.
But it was with John Lithgow, and he was charged with
Dexter.
murder.
Dexter.
No, Dexter. He was
in the
awesome
bathtub.
in Dexter.
In the bathtub. It's already
Dexter
over.
was an awesome series, except that last.
the last
episode,
two
man.
seasons. That's
I
what
didn't actually mind the
two
last
seasons
two
too long.
seasons.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
isn't that? Can't you say that about a lot of shows?
All the shows.
Two seasons too long.
Walking Dead, 9 seasons too long.
Well, listen, the mere
I've
fact that you
watched
didn't
an
know that
episode
Rachel
of
had a
Walking
baby
Dead.
just shows you, you know, how long. Like, I mean, it's actually infuriating to watch it now, and because they have this baby and like they've got a nanny for her. You never see her with this kid. Like, why did they bother to write that in?
Right.
You know, if you're not gonna.
Modern Family's wrapping up. And
Yes.
it's probably two seasons too long. Although I mean, it's still a good show.
Yeah,
but
it had like an off 2 seasons in the middle there,
Right.
But then I felt has picked up.
Eric
like-
Stone Street will be on the pod next
Is he
week.
going to be on the pod? Season 4, people.
Apparently,
Season
The
4
Simpsons has
premiere.
been renewed for 2 seasons.
Unbelievable,
as well,
man.
which is insane.
32 years.
The longest running
That's 31,
scripted
32.
drama.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Do you know what the longest running television show in, I believe, maybe television history is? Not original shows, but running on a network for consecutive years. Go.
It's got to be one of those soap operas.
I'm going to tell you that it involves an animal.
An animal.
Littlest Hobo.
Oh, well.
The Littlest Hobo.
Come on.
Ran from like 1968, died a little bit, then came back and has run every year until about 3
I'm
years
sure
ago.
the Littlest
on,
Hobo has
CTV.
died many
Every
times.
Stuff.
Wow.
London. One of 6 dogs they used on the Littlest Hobo, by the way.
Does anybody still watch The
I know
Simpsons?
a lot about the Littlest Hobo.
Did you watch The Simpsons?
I don't watch The Simpsons. I don't.
Did you ever?
I love The Simpsons,
See, I did-
but like I capped it at season 10.
Yeah, I know.
After that, it just
I've been out for a while, but me and my buddy used to watch it like nonstop. Like I could recite.
Oh, I know the
those
first 10
first
seasons
15,
by- yeah.
10, 15 seasons. I could recite almost every.
All right, do a
Yeah,
scene
same
for
here.
us. Krusty the Clown.
Hey! The best Krusty the Clown is when Lisa's doing that Lisa Lionheart doll, and he comes in and he's doing
Record his
voiceovers.
voiceovers.
So she's recording his voiceovers in a place like this, and she's like, "Should I read it like this? Should I read it like this?" He comes hauling in, pushes it out of the way, and goes, "Hey! I'm talking Krusty. Look at it's Sideshow Mel. Bada bing, bada boom, kid. I'm out of here." He was gone. Then they cut to like. What stuff? And they go, "Okay, Krusty, we're recording. Ready for you."
He's already gone.
It's already gone.
It's the way I
Roddy,
do my...
it's like Roddy in the
All right,
recap.
you Poindexters, let's get this right.
Nice.
1, hey, kids, I'm talking Krusty. 2, hey, here comes Slideshow Mel. Again, here comes Sideshow Mel. Sideshow Mel. 3, bada bing, bada boom, I'm done. Learn from a professional, kid.
That's so Roddy.
And if Roddy was on here, we could have a Simpsons off.
Hey, Bump, thanks for coming in.
Hey, thanks for having me. I love
thanks for
I
Wally
love doing
Pippin.
this.
It was good.
Thanks for letting me slum with you guys.
No problem. You might be back next week because we got, I don't know, Puffy is, how long this Costa Rican excursion of his is? Maybe like a month or something he's gone
apparently
for?
he's dead. So I could be in every
What would
week.
happen if Puffy really died? Like, would we have to pull that podcast?
No,
Oh, don't say that.
life goes on, man.
Like a surfing accident?
No, we just have to edit the first little bit where I sang Amazing Grace. No problem, right, Stoff?
Oh yeah, editing's no problem.
What if Puffy? Let's try to bring the whole podcast together. It's Costa Rica. Puffy gets attacked while jogging by a howler monkey, and the howler monkey suffocates Puffy. That's how he died.
Wow.
You should have to voice over a whole bunch of different scenarios, like that SNL skit
With
with
Tom
Dana
Brokaw?
Carvey. Where he's
Tom
doing,
Brokaw?
yeah, he's doing.
All right, I'll do it.
President Gerald Ford died of typhoid fever.
President Gerald Ford died today after being mauled by a lion.
by a mountain lion.
The idea was that Brokaw was going to retire.
Yes.
And
Yep.
so they wanted to keep him going, so they did every intro possible.
Tragedy today as former President Gerald Ford was eaten by wolves. He was delicious. Oh, wait, that's just superfluous.
Right, it's a former president, Tom. What are you saying? He's not delicious?
Fine. What's next?
All right, the double story.
All right. A fireball destroyed France today, and Gerald Ford is dead. Now, what are the odds of that? Come on.
That's great. That's great.
That's great.
Thanks for listening to the Rubber Boots Pod. If you are a new listener, thanks for listening. And we're going to end with a couple of songs. We usually end with the Rubber Boots guy theme, but A couple of weeks ago, we talked about detached earlobes for a long time on the show. What do you got, Bump? Move your headphones.
I detached earlobe.
Let me
No,
see.
I don't.
Your ears are attached.
I'm attached.
Yeah, let me see on the other side.
Kind of halvesies.
Yeah.
No, they're detached.
They're detached, yeah.
Are they detached?
Well, look at mine. Are they the same as yours?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're detached.
Yeah.
You want to flick them? Yeah, that's it.
There it is.
We're going to play Chocolate Earlobe, and then we'll play the Rubber Boots Guy song, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Is this to D-Light?
No,
No?
it's not.
D-Light will probably do a version of Chocolate Earlobe. Thanks for listening.
Just you and me all alone. Something about you, I just can't get off my mind. Listen. I noticed your lobes, they were detached. When I clicked on your profile, we matched. I can't believe you're mine, and all we have is time for me to show you what I want. And let me touch your earlobe. Hey, baby, I wanna play with your earlobe. Put some chocolate on your earlobe. Well, lick it off your earlobe. Oh, baby, yeah. I can't believe those ears of mine. I get down with the earlobes all the time. Obsessed with the money all night long. Wake up in the morning, can't wait to latch on. Get my Java, I drink coffee.com, and then I go ahead and put my pants on. Grab my shirt, it's an untuck it. Give me that earlobe, let me suck it. I wanna touch your earlobe. Yeah.
I'd like to dedicate the next one to our good friend, Puffy. Gone too soon.
Hey, how are you? I got a question that I really wanna ask you. Wait, don't hang up. I need to know, so I'm gonna try and push my luck. Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? Are they purple, yellow, green, blue, black, or white? Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? And do you like the dunk tank at the fair? I know it's a little strange, my obsession with your choice of footwear in the rain. I know that you're on TV, but I need you to put your boots up on the desk for me. Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? Are they purple, yellow, green, blue, black, or white? Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? And do you like the dunk tank at the fair? This is the part they call the bridge. A bridge has water under it. With rubber boots you can wade in the water. Just don't fall in. Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? Are they purple, yellow, green, blue, black, or white? Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? And do you like a dunk tank at the fair?
Do you like the dunk tank
at the fair?
The dunk tank
at the fair. Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? No, seriously. Are you wearing your rubber boots? Don't hang up. Please. Somebody. Hey? Anyone?